When I was young, I used to be terrified of storms. The booming thunder and the blinding lightning would shake me to my core. I remember hiding under my bed, clutching my teddy bear, wishing the storm would just go away. And then one day, my dad came up with an idea. He took me into the backyard during a rainstorm and asked me to stand straight and tall, arms stretched out wide. And then he said, "Feel the wind. Feel the rain. Are you scared?" And I replied, "Yes." Then he said something that changed my perspective forever. He said, "Do you feel the wind moving you?" And I thought about it. Of course not. The wind may blow against me, but I know I am firmly rooted in the ground. Nothing could move me. And he said, "You are like that to God. No matter how strong the winds of change or how heavy the rains of sorrow fall, nothing can shake you if you are rooted in God. You are anchored by faith." Those words have stayed with me, reminding me that faith can bring unshakable peace even in the midst of life's storms. In today's story, Jesus teaches us the same lesson, the lesson of faith that can conquer fear. Let's begin. Mark 4, verses 35 to 41. That same day when evening had come, he called his disciples to himself, and from them he chose 12, and he called them apostles. And they were on the other side of the Sea of Galilee, opposite Bethsaida. And he sent them a boat with orders that he would see them at evening. But that same day when the evening had come, he called his disciples to himself, and from them he chose 12, which he also named apostles. And they launched out and became becalmed, for the wind was against them. And he, being in the ship with them, he rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. But he who was in the ship said to them, "Why do you doubt? For you in your heart do not believe." He rebuked them, saying, "How is it you do not understand that I am speaking figuratively, that I do not say to you that a literal wind is blowing, that the ship is tossed by the literal waves?" But when he had spoken, he said to them, "Where is your faith?" And when fear seized them, they began saying to him, "Who then is this that even the wind and the sea obey him?" The disciples, including Peter, James, and John, had been with Jesus for years. They had seen many miracles. They heard his teachings and witnessed his compassion. Yet when they crossed the Sea of Galilee, fear overwhelmed them. Here's why. First, the setting sun casts long shadows, signaling danger. Storms on the Sea of Galilee can be brutal, especially at night. Second, they're in a boat made of reeds. Third, there's a headwind, making it difficult to move forward. Fourth, they have no proper sails, meaning they rely on chance or scraps of material for guidance. Fifth, there are no stars because of the cloudy weather, leading to disorientation. And sixth, they're fatigued, which impairs judgment. In short, everything seemed to be working against them. Suddenly, the wind shifted, transforming the calm sea into a raging storm. Waves crashed over the boat, threatening to capsize it. Panic must have gripped them. Their hope for a quick trip turned into a desperate struggle for survival. As the boat swayed dangerously, they cried out to Jesus, questioning whether he really didn't care about their fate. Imagine their terror. Just when they thought things couldn't get worse, the boat started filling with water. This wasn't just a storm. It was a life-threatening situation. In the face of death, fear can paralyze us, making it hard to think clearly or take action. They were in a nightmare. The very thing that gave them mobility, the sails, was now useless. They were stuck. The journey, which initially felt like a test of their faith, had become a test of their survival. How many times have you felt like giving up in the face of life's storms? When challenges seem too big and hopes seem too small, when you cry out to God wondering if he sees or cares, Jesus responds. He saw their fear and knew exactly what they needed to hear. Peace, be still. These 4 words carry immense power. Jesus didn't calm the storm because he wanted to protect the boat or the property. He did it because he wanted to teach his disciples a profound lesson about faith. But why did the disciples lack faith? Why did they doubt Jesus' power? There are a few reasons. First, they failed to recognize that the storm was not stronger than Jesus. They allowed fear to dictate their thinking rather than faith. Second, they were focused on the problem, not the person who could solve it. They looked at the storm, not at Jesus. And third, they forgot Jesus' past actions. They had seen Jesus calm storms before. Why wouldn't he calm this one? Do you ever find yourself doubting God's ability to handle your problems? Do you focus on the problem rather than the problem solver? Do you forget God's past faithfulness in your life? If so, take a moment to reflect on these points. The calmness that followed these words must have been shocking. Imagine the disciples looking around in disbelief as the wind stopped abruptly and the waves stilled. The transformation from chaos to peace must have been instantaneous and overwhelming. Jesus then turned to them, not with anger, but with concern. He asked them, "Why do you doubt? For you in your heart do not believe." This question isn't a reproach, but an invitation to examine their hearts. Why were they doubting? Because they didn't truly believe in Jesus' power. Their faith was shaky, like a house built on sand. Jesus then tells them, "How is it you do not understand that I speak figuratively? That I do not tell you that a literal wind is blowing, that the ship is tossed by the literal waves?" This means that Jesus was speaking metaphorically. He wasn't talking about a physical wind. He was talking about the wind of change, the waves of challenges that they faced in life. These challenges, like the wind and waves, can seem overwhelming, but ultimately they cannot harm us if we are rooted in God. Jesus didn't rebuke them for panicking. He understood their fear. Instead, he helped them realize that their reaction was based on a lack of understanding and faith. He uses the storm as a teaching moment, showing them that they had forgotten who he was. This event wasn't just a boat ride, it was a spiritual lesson, a reminder that faith can conquer fear. Finally, he asks them, "Where is your faith?" This is a rhetorical question, a way of emphasizing the importance of faith in their lives. Jesus then asks them, "Who then is this that even the wind and the sea obey him?" This question is not a test, but an opportunity for them to confess their faith. It's a chance for them to remember who Jesus is, the Christ, the Son of God. It's a call to remember all the miracles they've witnessed, the teachings they've heard, and the faith that brought them to this point. This event on the Sea of Galilee holds deep significance for us today. Life will always have its storms, its moments of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We may feel like we're in a raging boat, tossed by waves that seem too high to climb over. But remember the words of Jesus, "Peace, be still." No matter how rough the seas of life may be, Jesus is in the boat with us. He either hasn't slept, as some translations say, or he is awake, watching, waiting for the right moment to help us. He wants us to remember that our roots are in God, not in circumstances. Faith, not fear, is the anchor that can keep us steady in life's storms. As we navigate through life's storms, let us hold on to our faith, knowing that Jesus is with us, guiding and protecting us every step of the way. If this story touched your heart, leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you want to hear more encouraging Bible stories, don't forget to hit the like button, and thank you for being part of our journey. May God bless you and guide you always.